TV18
स्टेबल है कह के वापस कोई इलाज नहीं।
Let's go straight across now to Aman for the latest updates. Aman, his family is crying conspiracy. They are crying foul. They're saying that he hasn't died due to natural causes. He has been killed. They are accusing the police of administering poison. It's interesting that this all comes when his lawyers had moved the Supreme Court about the possibility that he could be eliminated. Is that why his death is raising so much suspicion amongst his family members?
Case so far, Avantika, if we look at the circumstances, only a probe can reveal further if it happens. But the circumstances are that 19th March is when Mukhtar Ansari complained in Banda jail that he had been given poisoned food and his condition had worsened. 20th March, his lawyer said the same. And after a few days, 3 jail officials in Banda were suspended. The reasons were not cited, simply 2 deputy jailers. What was the reason? We don't know. It was maybe linked to Mukhtar Ansari's security. It was not specified. But then the lawyers of Mukhtar Ansari moved the MP MLA court saying that his life is in danger. There was a poisoning attempt on him and he should be shifted to hospital. On 25th March night is when around 3 a.m. we believe late on 25th March night when Mukhtar Ansari's condition worsened. He was brought to the hospital on 26th March morning, but he was discharged the same evening, taken back to jail with the doctor saying everything is fine. But yesterday afternoon, again his condition has worsened and then the DM and the SP reached the Banda jail. He was shifted to the hospital around 8 p.m. and 10 p.m. he was declared dead due to a heart attack. Now his family is saying that this
number है 8297324624 फिर से 8297324624 आज से हम एक अभियान शुरू कर रहे हैं जिसका नाम है केजरीवाल को आशीर्वाद। इस व्हाट्सएप नंबर पर आप अपने अरविंद को आशीर्वाद भेज सकते हैं, शुभकामनाएं भेज सकते हैं, दुआएं भेज सकते हैं, प्रार्थना भेज सकते हैं। कोई और भी संदेश देना चाहे तो वो भी दे सकते हैं। कई माताओं ने तो अपने बेटे के लिए मन्नत मांगी है, कई बहनों ने भी अपने भाई के लिए मन्नत मांगी है, वो भी लिख के भेजें। मुझे कई लोगों के फ़ोन भी आए, उन्होंने अरविंद जी के लिए व्रत रखा है। कितना प्यार करते हैं अरविंद जी से लोग, वो सब लिख कर भेजिए। कुछ और भी अगर कहना है, कुछ भी मन में आए, इस व्हाट्सएप नंबर पे लिख कर भेज दीजिए। हर परिवार का हर सदस्य लिख के भेजे। आपके मैसेज पढ़ के उन्हें बहुत अच्छा लगेगा। आपका एक एक मैसेज उन तक पहुंचेगा। मैं आप सबके मैसेज उनको जेल में देकर आऊँगी।
Okay, that was Sunita Kejriwal, the wife of Delhi Chief Minister Arvind Kejriwal, who is in the Enforcement Directorate custody, and he will be there for the next 4 days till the 1st of April after the court had extended the custody. So she was urging the people of the national capital and the entire nation to send out their messages to Arvind Kejriwal through a WhatsApp number that they just gave out. I'm going to shift focus now to the other big story, the death of mafia don turned politician Mukhtar Ansari. Going back to you, Aman, my apologies to have cut you earlier on. Now, this also reminds me of the time when the 2 gangsters, Atiq Ahmed and Ashraf, were mysteriously died in Prayagraj. I remember at that time, if I'm not mistaken, the Supreme Court had pulled up the UP government. They had said that somebody was complicit in the deaths. And now we are seeing a repeat of that with the family members of Mukhtar Ansari also making similar claims.
Well, Avantika, certainly, 2 biggest dons of Purvanchal, first Atiq Ahmed and now Mukhtar Ansari, both are dead within a year of, in less than a year, in mysterious circumstances. So Atiq Ahmed's death happened in police custody. The police was taking him in their custody to a hospital when he was shot dead in cold blood right from close range by 3 assailants, 3 miscreants who were later arrested from the spot. Atiq Ahmed and his brother, both were killed in that incident, and now we have Mukhtar Ansari's suspicious death. So at the end of the day, the opposition is saying, look, a criminal, be it in police custody or a criminal be in jail, it is the responsibility of the state to keep that person safe and secure. First, a top gangster has died in police custody, and now another top gangster has died inside jail in judicial custody. So obviously there will be a magisterial inquiry in this whole incident on what were the circumstances in which the death has happened. There is a cloud of doubt because the family is making these claims. The family has gone to court. The family has even gone to the Supreme Court, apprehending a threat to Mukhtar Ansari's life. So what steps did the state government or the state authorities or the state police or the jail authorities take to ensure that Mukhtar Ansari was safe and secure inside jail is a question that that will be probed. But I think all eyes are now, Avantika, on the autopsy report, the autopsy which is presently on by a group of doctors, by a panel of doctors. If that autopsy says it's a natural death due to a heart attack, then maybe it may be a case of some people that there is a negligence in bringing him to hospital on time or giving him medical treatment on time. But if the autopsy report points to foul play, then this matter becomes a very big matter, because the opposition parties like the Samajwadi Party, the Bahujan Samaj Party, with whom the Ansari family has been associated in the past, are claiming foul play in this matter and asking for a top level inquiry, at least by a sitting Supreme Court judge.
Absolutely. That autopsy report is going to be extremely crucial amidst the claims of murder. A shocking allegation that has been made by his son, who claims that his father was poisoned. Just who was Mukhtar Ansari? Let's also just tell our viewers, well, he was the grandson of well-known Congress party leader. He served as the chancellor in Jamia Millia University in 1978, but he was a notorious criminal. In fact, he had a very, very notorious past, a criminal past. He was booked for criminal intimidation in 2005. He was also booked for 28 criminal cases. He was booked for killing BJP MLA Krishna Nandrai. The court had sentenced him to 10 years in jail. So, Aman, clearly, he is someone who was extremely popular, extremely powerful. He wielded considerable clout in the corridors of power, cutting across party lines. Is that why we are getting to see so much noise from the BSP and the Samajwadi Party about his death?
Well, so Avantika, if you look at Mukhtar Ansari's life, the first case against him was lodged way back in 1978, of criminal intimidation. 1986 or 87, the first murder case was lodged against him. There are over 60 cases against Mukhtar Ansari, and he's been in jail since 2005 continuously for the last 18 years. But till 2017, there was not a single conviction against Mukhtar Ansari. That is why he was able to contest election after election and, win from Mao for 5 times till 2022. It was only after the Yogi government came to power and it started pursuing the legal matters against Mukhtar Ansari very aggressively in courts, putting up top lawyers, pressing the courts for early hearings, and pushed for conviction in these cases. Mukhtar Ansari got convicted in 8 cases post 2017. He was barred from contesting in the last 2022 election in Mao. We saw his son contesting in place of him, and his son also won from that seat. But Mukhtar Ansari did enjoy political patronage for all these years. That shows, not just in the political system, maybe even in the legal system, there were cases where complainants have said that they were, intimidated, witnesses turned hostile all the time. Nobody was prepared to depose against Mukhtar Ansari. Such was the terror and the threat of the man, even while he was inside a jail. So he was running a parallel administration. He was, of course, the MLA from Mao, and people used to go all the way to jail to, get their complaints sorted out from him. But he was extending that influence. Only after the Yogi government came that in a way, the crackdown happened on the likes of Atiq Ahmed and Mukhtar Ansari, and finally, now we see within 1 year, both these top dons of Purvanchal are now dead.
Indeed. Just stay on with me, Aman. I'll just come back to you. We'll play a couple of reactions that have come in on the death of Mukhtar Ansari.
बात 2004 की है, जनवरी की है, आज से 20 साल पहले की है। और मुख्तार अंसारी का जो भय का साम्राज्य था वो चरम पे था, और सरकार द्वारा जब समर्थन ऐसे माफियाओं को हो जाए तो आप समझ सकते हैं। मैंने अभी आपसे कहा कि वो खुली जीप में मऊ दंगों में घूमता था, जहाँ कर्फ्यू लगा है। किसी की हिम्मत नहीं हुई उसके प्रति कुछ बोल दे, कार्रवाई की तो छोड़ दीजिए। और उस समय मैंने लाइट मशीन गन रिकवर की। आज तक उत्तर प्रदेश में केवल एक ही रिकवरी है, न उसके पहले कभी हुई, न 20 साल हो गया अब तक हुई है। और उस पर पोटा भी लगाया, क्योंकि पोटा एग्जिस्ट करता था। लेकिन मुलायम सिंह की सरकार तत्कालीन अल्पमत की सरकार थी, किसी भी कीमत पे इसको बचाना चाहते थे, और उन्होंने अंत में हम लोग पर प्रेशर बनाया, अधिकारियों पर प्रेशर बनाया।
आरोपी मुख्तार अंसारी की जेल में मौत हुई है, वो उत्तर प्रदेश की भारतीय जनता पार्टी की सरकार पर गंभीर प्रश्न खड़े करती है। मुख्तार अंसारी ने कुछ दिन पहले आरोप लगाया था कि उन्हें धीमा जहर दिया जा रहा है, और आज प्रशासन बता रहा है कि उनकी दिल का दौरा पड़ने से मौत हो गई। इसकी उच्च स्तरीय जांच होनी चाहिए, हाई कोर्ट के सिटिंग जज के सुपरविजन में जांच हो, ताकि पता चले लोगों को कि जेलों में क्या हो रहा है और उत्तर प्रदेश के शासन में किस तरीके का जंगल राज चल रहा है।
देखिए, बहुत ही दुखद घटना है और ये अभी आप लोगों का या सरकार का कहना है कि हार्ट अटैक से डेथ हुई है। जब तक पोस्टमार्टम रिपोर्ट सामने नहीं आई थी तब तक हम कुछ ऑथेंटिकली कह नहीं सकते हैं, क्योंकि प्राइमा फेशिया ये हार्ट अटैक से डेथ लग नहीं रही है। देखिए, उसमें बहुत ज़्यादा दम है, क्योंकि 2 दिन पहले भी कोर्ट के अंदर एक एप्लीकेशन लग रही है, जिसके अंदर वहाँ पे उनके जो लोकल लॉयर हैं उन्होंने एप्लीकेशन लगा के बहुत सीरियस एलिगेशन लगाए थे प्रशासन के ऊपर कि इनको स्लो पॉइजन दिया जा रहा है। और कहीं ना कहीं प्रशासन की और जेल प्रशासन की दोनों तरफ से जो गवर्नमेंट है वहाँ पे और जो प्रशासन है जेल प्रशासन, इनकी ड्यूटी बनती थी कि उसको बड़ा डीपली जाके इन्वेस्टिगेट करते, और कहीं पर भी अगर ऐसा एलिगेशन आते तो इमीडिएटली सारा सराउंडिंग स्टाफ चेंज कर देना चाहिए था।
So massive controversy has now erupted over the sensational charges leveled by Mukhtar Ansari's son that his father was subjected to slow poisoning in prison. Aman, tell us, had he been ailing for a long time? Why is it that his lawyers had approached the Supreme Court 3 months ago? Why did they say that there is threat to his life?
Well, he was ailing, Avantika, and he was also wheelchair ridden for a long time. You know, he was shifted to Punjab jail earlier. The UP government fought a case to bring him back from Punjab to UP because they thought he was getting a 5-star treatment in a Punjab jail. So he was brought back from Punjab to UP. He was ailing, but his family says none of these ailments were life-threatening to the extent that he could die inside jail. He's only 63. He's not that old either, but he was confined to a wheelchair for some time because he was feeling this weakness, due to constraint, and he's been in jail since 2005. But lately, there was stress on him. That is what his family members have been saying, and in fact, some phone conversations are also going viral where, the family is saying that he's not keeping well, and they were speaking to him and he doesn't feel well at all. But the crucial thing which has happened is it happened in the last fortnight, when this whole March 19th incident, then March 25th, 26th incident when he was brought to hospital, and finally yesterday when he was brought again to hospital because of when he was also his family saying he was keeping rosa, so he was not eating much. Well, the exact cause of the death will only be known once the autopsy is complete. I think let's wait for that rather than speculate a lot what may have led to the death. Once the autopsy report comes out, a magisterial probe has already been ordered, as is always ordered when there is a death inside a prison. But will a higher level inquiry follow this remains to be seen. I think the UP government will wait for the autopsy report before announcing one.
When he contested on a BSP ticket, if I'm not mistaken, I recall that Mayawati, in fact, had portrayed him to be some sort of a Robin Hood, a messiah of the poor. Such was the relationship that he shared with the BSP. But what was his equation with the Samajwadi Party, with Akhilesh Yadav? I mean, if you could throw some light. And, his influence in the Ghazipur Mao region, what kind of a person he was and how did he enjoy all that influence and power from inside the jail?
Well, Avantika, see, we all know that Mukhtar Ansari came from a very illustrious family, but he took the journey of crime. This was an era in UP when, land grabbings became, very fashionable, extortion. And this was a time when Mukhtar Ansari built his gang. So his gang was involved a lot in land grabbings, extortion, ransom, and this became the trademark of the Mukhtar Ansari gang. His gang is a listed gang in the UP police records, and his various gang members have been acted against. And he built an empire, a financial empire based off that. So when Yogi government actually came in 2017, it did not just crack down on his legal protection he was enjoying, with the political patronage he was enjoying, it also cracked down on his entire financial empire. An estimate says about 800 to 900 crore rupee worth of assets of Mukhtar Ansari were either seized or demolished as part of this bulldozer action which became very famous. It is an action against Mukhtar Ansari through the bulldozer by which Yogi Adityanath came to be known as Bulldozer Baba. And from there it started. So both the financial backing and the legal backing of Mukhtar Ansari was systematically demolished by the Yogi government to reduce his influence in this entire Ghazipur Mao region, this parallel administration, as I say, he was running. But over the years, Mukhtar Ansari had lost his influence, and SP, BSP, his brother has been an MLA from the SP. He formed this Qaumi Ekta Morcha, which was also associated with the SP at certain stage. Both the SP and the BSP have flirted with Mukhtar Ansari to get gains in the political area of Purvanchal. And that is why we now today see both the SP and BSP coming out very strongly, asking for an inquiry in the death of Mukhtar Ansari, because it's also appealing to their vote bank in the region ahead of the very important Lok Sabha polls, where at least 3 to 4 seats in this region, be it Azamgarh or Ghazipur, are Muslim-dominated seats, and where this death could have some resonance.
Absolutely. And what are you hearing from your sources on the kind of security arrangements that are put in place? He is a noted and very influential person who has now lost his life because of the cardiac arrest. Tell us a little bit more about the precautions being taken by the UP administration while the autopsy takes place.
Avantika, since yesterday, the UP police has been on high alert. Section 144 is in place across the state, and even in areas like Ghazipur and around, extra precautions have been taken. Paramilitary forces have been rushed there. There is tight security also because this is the Ramzan month. Today is also Friday, the day of Juma prayers. So, there'll be more.
Stay on with me. Fakhrul Chand from the Samajwadi Party, Aman, is joining us also for more on this. Fakhrul Chand, जो मुख्तार अंसारी के परिवार है, उनका जो बेटे हैं, वो कह रहे हैं कि उनको मारा गया है, ये कार्डियक अरेस्ट की वजह से नहीं हुआ है, उनको जहर दिया गया है। आपका क्या कहना है?
देखिए, समाजवादी पार्टी पहले तो उनकी मौत पे दुख व्यक्त करती है, क्योंकि वो विधानसभा के सदस्य रहे हैं, बहुत समय तक उत्तर प्रदेश में वो कई बार विधायक रहे। और दूसरी बात ये कि परिवार बहुत समय से आरोप लगा रहा था, वो उनके स्वास्थ्य को लेके चिंता जाहिर कर रहा था, तो वो उसको माननीय न्यायालय में भी इस मामले को लेके गए थे, वहाँ भी इस बात की शिकायत की गई थी। और अगर अब उसके बाद वो मौत हो गई है और उन्हीं संदिग्ध परिस्थितियों में हुई है, तो जो अगर परिवार कह रहा है कि उसकी जांच होनी चाहिए और सरकार द्वारा जांच का आदेश किया भी गया, जहाँ तक जानकारी हुई है, तो सरकार पूरी निष्पक्ष तरीके से इस पूरे प्रकरण की जांच कराए और जिससे परिवार को कहीं अगर कोई संदेह है तो संदेह दूर होना चाहिए।
नहीं, समाजवादी पार्टी को क्या लगता है फखरुल चंद जी, आपकी पार्टी क्या मानती है कि इनकी जो मौत हुई है कोई कंस्पिरेसी है, कोई फाउल प्ले है या
नहीं? देखिए, सवाल इस बात का है कि जब तक कि पोस्टमार्टम की रिपोर्ट सामने ना आ जाए, जब तक कि डॉक्टरों की टीम क्या कह रही है वो सब सामने ना आ जाए, किसी बात को कहना वो बहुत जल्दबाजी होगा। समाजवादी पार्टी समझती कि थोड़ा इंतजार करना चाहिए, लेकिन अगर परिवार को कहीं कोई शक है तो उस परिवार की संतुष्टि के लिए जरूर निष्पक्ष जांच होनी चाहिए। वो जांच की मांग कर रहा है, जांच होनी चाहिए।
जी, फखरुल चंद जी, thank you so much for speaking to CNN News 18. Aman, so that's what the Samajwadi Party is saying. They're calling for a fair investigation and all eyes will be on the results of that post-mortem report. What really comes out and what it divulges, that really will be able to throw some clarity on the nature of his death. But do you think that the family members will take it to the higher court? Will they appeal for more clarity on the nature, on the cause of Mukhtar Ansari's death?
Definitely. I think the family is already preparing for that, to go to the Supreme Court asking for a top-level inquiry by a retired Supreme Court judge.
Just kindly stay on with me, Amin. I'll profusely apologize to interrupt you there. Anila Singh from the BJP is also joining us. Ms. Singh, thank you for speaking to CNN News 18. The Samajwadi Party and the BSP are calling for a fair investigation. And the family members of Mukhtar Ansari claim that there is conspiracy in the death of the gangster-turned-politician. How do you react to those charges?
My Ram to all, not only Samajwadi Party, BSP, even Congress Party. They have put question mark on the death of Mukhtar Ansari because these are the political parties who have always used these mafias, dons, goons for their own political gain. They have always worked hand in hand. And it is so unfortunate, when one mafia or don, he dies and the medical bulletin claims that his death is because of the cardiac arrest. And post-mortem is also going to happen under the videography.
Ms. Singh, his own son has leveled these allegations. His son is saying that the father has been subjected to slow poisoning and there was intent to kill him.
If they have got any sort of evidence, whether his son or any of the political parties who are advocating for his death, that it is state-sponsored, they should come ahead. They should show that evidence to media as well. And if they do not have any evidence, then stop harping about it. Stop advocating about the death of Mukhtar Ansari. This is very, very unfortunate. These political parties who send their policymakers in parliament, in assemblies, today they are standing with a don. This is absolutely wrong, absolutely wrong. When medical bulletin says that his death is because of the cardiac arrest, I think we should believe that.
Another allegation is the way Atiq Ahmed, who was also a gangster-turned-politician, and his brother Ashraf were killed in Prayagraj. This is how a similar pattern that we're getting to see. They're saying that that's why they're saying that there is conspiracy in the death of Mukhtar Ansari as well.
See, if I talk about these political parties, Samajwadi Party, BSP or the Congress, as I mentioned earlier, that they have always used such mafias for their own political gain. They are partners in crime. So definitely they are very sad on his death. But if a person dies because of the cardiac arrest, how can you say that it is a state-sponsored? If Atiq Ahmed or his brother, they were killed by the other criminals, what state has to do that?
Right.
Those people are behind the bars.
Right. Ms. Anila Singh, thanks so much for speaking to CNN News 18. So, as you can clearly see, massive politics that has erupted over the death of the gangster-turned-politician Mukhtar Ansari, who has died of a cardiac arrest, but his family members allege conspiracy. His family members are saying that there's something more than meets the eye. In fact, they are smelling conspiracy in their fathers and family members' death. Piyush Rai, who is the son of the slain BJP MLA, Krishna Anand, in fact, joins us right now. Piyush, the family members of Mukhtar Ansari, वो कह रहे हैं कि conspiracy है, foul play है, उनको जहर दिया गया है, उनकी हत्या जो है natural causes से नहीं हुई है, उनको मारा गया है. How do you respond?
See, first of all, thank you for inviting me on your TV show. See, this is a matter of investigation, and surely the government will look into this. But after all, the judgment that has been passed by the mighty Almighty, we are all happy that finally the Almighty has given His verdict. And one said that the Almighty, whatever decides, always happens for the beneficiary of everybody. So whatever comes from His court or from His judgment, we should accept it very sincerely. And I thank Almighty. And today I visited the Kashi Vishwanath temple in Varanasi with my mom, and we thank God that whatever sacrifices or whatever the period that we have been through, both of us, the God has given us the strength that today we have seen His judgment on His behalf for this such kind of person who has been always negative in the society. And this judgment, we all thank Almighty for this.
He faced the charge, Mukhtar Ansari, Piyush, faced the charge of killing your father. I know your family went through quite an ordeal. It was such a tragedy when you lost your father, BJP MLA Krishnanand Rai. Can you take us through those times, those moments? It must have been such a traumatic time for your family and for the rest of the family members as well.
Yeah, of course, that time was very upsetting, and whenever we try to remember those periods, we still get some shivers from it. But, the intentions of the government always is very important for the betterment of the society. And at that time, the government of Samajwadi Party has clearly no vision and no clear indication of their actions against such people who are bad in the society. And clearly there has been change from 2017 under the leadership of Pujaniya Maharaj Yogi Adityanath ji. We see a clear intentions of zero tolerance policies against such people who have been always corruption and always loot to the society. And thus the changes is happening from 2017, and there is a clear logic and clear vision of our Honorable Chief Minister and Honorable Prime Minister that we have been seeing such a dramatic changes in the society's political and social welfare.
Right. Do you see that change now, Piyush? You say that there was a time when these gangsters, they would enjoy so much influence, they had so much power. I mean, it's shocking to hear that Mukhtar Ansari was a successful politician from inside the jail. If you could reminisce about those times and how really your family had lived through those times. Your mother, in fact, had went through such a tough time. She, in fact, had declared not to celebrate any festival post the unfortunate demise of the BJP MLA. If you could just give us a little bit more about those horrific times for you and your family members.
Actually, at those times, under circumstances of under the political parties of Samajwadi Party and Bahujan Samaj Party leadership and their government, these gangsters were thriving very well because they have a full support and they have a full go on from these governments. And so there was no clear indications or intentions or clear intentions of such government to noose these gangsters from any ill killing or killings of such many persons. Like you remember at that time there was a Mau Danga, a Mau riot in which almost 38 Yadav peoples were killed at that time. So these people always uses such gangsters for their own political agenda. Whenever they feel right, they uses such person for their political advantages. But always there is always someone who is watching from above the head and looking into every matters and every person's sacrifices and their struggles. And that Almighty has always been good with us, that He has given such strength. My mother always used to say, whenever at early stages of my life I used to get depressed that what will be happen in future and how we going to tackle such gangster in future. She always say you should follow the constitution and you should always follow the court and do your process, but always remember there's Almighty watching on all of us, and whenever He strikes there will be a big noise, but this noise will be heard all over the world. But that saying of my mother is still boozing in my head, and still that sound is clear in my head. That's why today when I told my mother that the judgment from Almighty has come, she was very happy and she asked me to just go with her to the Baba Vishwanath temple, and we visited and we took blessings from Baba Vishwanath. So this is just a pure feelings of happiness for us, and this is a sheer faith that my mother used to have on
Well,
Baba Vishwanath.
understandably.
And
Understandably,
yeah.
Piyush, your family has been through so much. Would you agree that there was a time that these criminal elements who enjoyed immense power and influence in the political class actually resulted in the deterioration of law and order in the state of Uttar Pradesh? And has that changed now? Do you see that change now?